Okay. LilyUlloa here with Justin Pauldo, who's coming off an amazing knockout victory over a former title holder, Rakimov. A lot of people knew that you were it coming in just from watching your previous pro box fight. Where a lot of people felt that you kind of got, quote unquote, robbed and against Madueño. So they were expecting already a big fight from you, but you were still kind of seen as an underdog just because, he was a champ and given their style over there. You didn't seem phased. But what was the reason that you took this fight? Like when they called, and even though he's a former champion, you're coming from inactivity. Like what made you be like, I'm gonna take it?
Well, first, it was a great opportunity for me to go out and prove myself against a guy that had been to the top. He's been where I'm trying to go. So when I got called for the fight, I was excited about it. I wanted to just go out and show that I belong at that top level.
You did feel that you got robbed in the last fight with Madueño because a lot of people even now when I go back and check online from your last fight, a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, well he had already beat Madueño." Were you scared coming into this fight that something like that may happen again if you didn't, and that's why you went for the knockout?
Well, I wasn't. I wasn't really focused on that. I try to just focus on what was in front of me. So I keep that out of my head about what happened with the last fight or whatnot. But my most important thing in my mind was just to go out and put on a dominant performance and stopping him. That was the cherry on top.
What was the plan coming in? Because I think even the commentators, right, when they were interviewing for Fight Week, they were telling, this is one of these guys from, the other side of the pond. They have kind of these, kind of a style that maybe not be as great to box against. What was your mentality coming in, to take this fight?
Well, looking at it, he's just another fighter than me. That's how I look at it. Like I told him, he laced his gloves up just like me. So my thing was just to go out there and convincingly win and let my skills be on full display.
We've seen that Pro Box TV, a lot of guys have been kind of gotten from there like their title shot. We saw Angelo Leo, right? And we saw Banana Rosario also in a big card like that. You said you wanted to get this fight to get bigger fights. What are those bigger fights that you're kind of, thinking about?
Well, the fights I'm thinking about is the guys that's at the top, the champions. Any guy with the belt, those the fights I want. So as long as I keep on putting on dominant performances, I think all the fans in the boxing world will start to demand those fights.
Realistically, what fighter do you think you could be next? And for the people who are still hesitant of, your activity, can you promise that you will be back for another show within this year as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be back in the next coming months. I look forward to putting on more performances and showcasing my skills for the world. And it's no particular fighter that I can think of who's exactly next. It's really whatever in line. When my managers call, when promoters call, and I get the opportunity, I don't turn down fights. I say yes, and I get prepared to go out there and dominate.
Now you knew you were confident in your approach coming in with rack and mall, but did you think that you were gonna be able to put him away, or is that something that you kind of because you were dominating since the beginning of the fight? Was that something that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him out?
Well, absolutely. Well, that's what I trained to do. I trained to go out there and have the performance I had. So from the time the bell rang, I knew I would go out and dominate. And after a few rounds, I knew it wouldn't go the full distance.
Has any like have you gotten a little bit more, buzz with people demanding those fights with the champions because of the knockout like this? And even though, again, the performance before, which was a loss on the record, a lot of people saw you winning. Like, what has that buzz been like now after getting these type of fights?
Well, it's been exciting. A lot more recognition. I've been seeing my name be mentioned a lot more, which is a great thing, and I'm just happy with it. So I know with that, I just got to keep going out, putting on more dominant performances, and the people to keep demanding those fights.
For those who feel like they don't see you enough, like what were those reasons that you were kind of, in and out of the ring as well and kind of taking like late, kind of long layoffs?
Well, coming up the year layoff, I had little hand injuries that I was dealing with. But I'm back at 100% now, and I remain busy this year, and everybody should keep getting to see me, and I'll become a household name.
Talk to us about Pro Box TV because it's fairly new, right? It's fairly new. I know now everything is apps and we're watching boxing through apps. But this one a lot of fans gravitate to because the matchmaking is so good and there's always great fights. How did you get approached by Pro Box? What was that like?
Well, that was the thing with my manager, Fighters First Management. They put me in with Pro Box. I'm signed with them, So it's great being with pro box. I love it. They put us in competitive fights and we put on great shows. So I'm really happy with them with this opportunity they just gave me in this last fight to go out and showcase my talent. And it's working well.
And you're originally from Florida, from what
Yes,
I saw, and you're in Texas now. Is Texas where you train all the time?
yes.
That's
I'm
where you
originally
live?
from my home. My hometown is Orlando, and I've been living in Texas for some years now. So I train out of Houston.
Talk to us about your training. Let us know who your trainer is and the type of sparring that you get. If there's any guys that you're like, oh yeah, I've been sparring this guy that everybody else might know, just so that they can, even familiarize themselves with the type of work that you also put in.
Yes, my head trainer is Randy Shields. Along with my brother Pauldo. He came in this camp and gave me a lot of great work. My brother, man, he really pushed me because he know all the buttons to push. He's been with me all my life, so he know how to bring what to bring out of me. And no particular sparring that people would probably know, but I had a young guy by the name of Sintandre. He gave me a lot of great work. He's a young upper 40, 140-pound guy who's coming up, and I think he's gonna do good in the sport.
With you as well. We've seen you before in well we're almost you because the last time I spoke to you, well, you were supposed to fight Rolly. What happened there? Because I know you didn't miss weight, but is that something where he was like, "Well, I'm not taking the fight," or what was going on in your camp that kind of
Well, first
out
the
of the
fight
thought?
was I took the fight on a very short notice. It was just the opportunity. I couldn't turn it down.
Mhm.
So what happened was I got there and I wound up couldn't make the weight, and the doctors just didn't approve me to fight. They said I wasn't fit to fight. That was about it.
And now, do you feel like with these fights that you're doing, on Pro Box, that does catapult you to those type of things? Is there someone would you like to fight Rolly, or maybe Madueño if he wins tonight against Duarte? He actually fights tonight.
Of course, I tried to get the Madrino fight right after the fight. Tried to get the rematch. Um, he didn't want it, so I don't think he want to get back in there with me. But if he's willing to come back down to 35, if the opportunity presents itself, um, I'll fight him again. Of course, Rolly, he's got a good name in the sport right now still, but he got his own fights lined up. But if that opportunity presents itself, that's another fight I'll be willing to go and fight.
What do you think of the division right now? Because it's hella stacked, and there's always those guys, right, who want to get on the next contender to prove themselves, and you've been looking great. So I feel like they're looking at you as someone that'd be like, hey, that'd be a good guy to try to get in here because he just had these great wins. Is there a particular guy that you see at the top that you're like, I can go in there and take him?
There's no particular one, any of them. I feel like I'm ready for any fighter at the top, and if they're willing to give me my shot, I'm willing to get in there, and I'm gonna show them that I belong.
Do because you've been fighting at all type of stages, but now with Riyadh coming in and Turkey Al Sheikh and all these things, would you be down to like go to Saudi Arabia and do one of those fights out there?
Absolutely, I fight anywhere in the world because when I step in the ring, it's just gonna be me and that other guy, and the ring is my home, so it don't matter where it's at, what side of the world it's on. I'm ready to fight.
How about with other weight classes, right? Because a lot of guys in contention, sometimes, like you said, take opportunities, they get the call. It's hard to say no. What weight classes would you be saying, I think I would make this move if given an opportunity?
Right now the highest I probably would go is 40, but my mind is fully set on 35. That's why I've been at. That's why I've been working. I want to get my title shot there first. But if the right opportunity presented itself and it made the right sense, I'll go to 140.
Now with, Keyshawn, we just got him as a champ last night. What did you watch or what did you think of his performance for
Yes,
Keyshawn?
I watched it. I think he's showing out there and doing a great job. He done what he's supposed to. He got the impressive stoppage victory, and that's about it. That's another fight that I look forward to having one day.
And, let me get your prediction for Tank, March 1st. What do you think against someone who's also, coming up from another weight class for 130, like how you guys were at 130 at one point?
I don't think Tank the biggest 135 pounder. I think he probably can make 130 or even 126 itself. So I don't see size being too much of a factor in that fight. Um, Lamont, another great fighter. I think him and Tank got a lot of history. So that fight's probably going to be better than a lot of people expecting. And we'll see what happens.
Do you have a prediction? Do you think anybody's gonna win, or do you think it ends in a knockout?
Well, of course, we have to always lean towards Tank from what he's done in his career. But in the end of the day, it's boxing, so you never know what happens.
Now, lastly, Let the fans know where they can follow you because on Twitter I see that you're super popular. Every boxing fan that I interact with has seen your fights on Pro Box, but for the YouTube, for the Instagram, where they can follow you at so they can keep up and promise when possibly we can see you back on Pro Box so that we can keep seeing you in these fights.
Yes, just follow me on Instagram at Justin Pauldo. Support me. I'll be back soon, and I look forward to putting on more impressive victories.
I forgot one. Ryan Garcia versus Broly. I know like they just announced that. Turkey said that's gonna be taking place. Who do you think wins that real quick? And fuck it, you get the win.
I got Ryan Garcia by KO.
Okay, Ryan Garcia by KO. Okay. That's sick. I think that'd be a good fight if they do it in
Yeah,
Miracle. It'd be sick.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's gonna be an entertaining fight. Also, I think even the lead up to that fight, the trash talk is gonna be funny.
Yeah, see, that's a good one. That's I think the trash talk would sell the fight. And you're a respectful guy. Um, but you show it off in the ring. So I really do hope we get to see you soon on Pro Box and we get if you do get a fight, I would love to get another interview.
Absolutely.
So we can get what you're doing in camp and a little update on yourself as well.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you for having me on, and thanks for the support.